There is a 5-gallon bucket sitting behind my woodshed right now. It is half full of rainwater, a handful of grass clippings, and one heaping spoonful of a powder I bought at the hardware store for $17. Every female mosquito within 100 yards of my farmhouse is flying toward that bucket to lay her eggs. And every single egg she lays is going to die within 24 hours. It will not harm my honeybees. It will not harm the butterflies in Esther's flower garden. It will not harm my dog, my chickens, the songbirds at the feeder, or the children running barefoot through the yard at dusk. It kills one thing. My name is Elias Yoder. I farm in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. I keep 11 hives of honeybees on this property. Esther tends a half-acre of flowers and herbs the pollinators depend on. And I have not been bitten by a mosquito at my own kitchen table in 9 years. No electric bug zapper. No spray truck driving down the road. No chemical company on retainer. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to clear the mosquitoes off your own property this weekend for less than the cost of one professional spray treatment, and your bees and your pets will be safe the entire time. Let me start with what most folks get wrong, because if you do not understand this, nothing else I tell you will matter. Mosquitoes do not blow in from the woods. They do not drift in on the wind from your neighbor's pond. Every mosquito biting you in your own backyard was born in your own backyard. In water. In standing water, and not very much of it. A bottle cap of water held in the crease of an old tarp is enough. A clogged gutter holding half a cup of rainwater for 4 days is enough. The little dish under your potted plant is enough. A female mosquito lays between 100 and 300 eggs at a time, and she can do it in less water than you can hold in your cupped hand. That is the whole game. If you let standing water sit on your property for more than 4 days, you are running a mosquito hatchery. If you eliminate it or if you poison it so the eggs cannot hatch, you have solved the problem at the source. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reported over 19,500 cases of West Nile virus in the United States from 1999 through 2021, with more than 1,200 deaths. The National Association of County and City Health Officials estimated the annual economic loss from mosquito-borne diseases at $500 million across the country back in 2019. Mosquitoes are not just annoying, they are dangerous. But the way most people fight them is dangerous too, just in a different direction. Here is what the pest control companies do not want you thinking about. Honeybees are responsible for pollinating crops worth an estimated $15 billion every year in the United States, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. When a spray truck rolls down your road, fogging the neighborhood with chemical pesticides, it kills the mosquitoes. It also kills the bees, the butterflies, the dragonflies that eat mosquitoes themselves, and the beneficial insects your garden depends on. Some urban areas have started aerial spraying programs that drew real backlash from communities worried about the health of their children, their pets, and the environment. The Organic Trade Association has said it plainly. Organic methods not only save the bees, but help build healthier ecosystems overall. The Amish community figured this out a long time ago. Not because we read a study, but because we watched what happened in our own fields when the chemicals showed up. We saw the bees disappear. We saw the butterflies thin out. So we went back to what worked before the chemicals, and it turns out what worked before is still working now. My grandfather walked the property every Saturday morning in summer with an empty coffee can. He tipped out every saucer, every tarp pocket, every old bucket, every wheelbarrow that had collected water during the week. He called it walking the line. In the places he could not drain, the low spots in the pasture, the cattle trough, the rain barrel by the back door, he had another method. And that method is what I am about to show you. You will need 3 things. A 5-gallon bucket, dark colored, black, brown, dark green, not white. A few handfuls of grass clippings or dead leaves, and 1 container of something called mosquito bits, which you will find in the lawn and garden section of any hardware store near the pond supplies. About $17. Set the bucket somewhere out of the way. Behind a shed, under a hedge, behind the barn, not next to where you eat supper. You want the mosquitoes drawn away from you, not toward you. Fill it about halfway with water. Rainwater is best, but tap water works. Toss in a handful of grass clippings, a few dead leaves, maybe a twig or 2. Nothing fancy. Just enough to make the water look a little dirty, a little swampy. Why dark-colored? Because a female mosquito hunting for a place to lay eggs is looking for water that looks like the dark, shaded, still pools where her species evolved. A bright white bucket in full sun does not look like home to her. A dark bucket in the shade does. Why the grass clippings? As they break down, they release the same compounds that decaying plants release in a natural pond. The scent tells the female mosquito this is a good place to leave her young. You are not making a swamp. You are making a counterfeit swamp, the most attractive piece of real estate on your property as far as a mosquito is concerned. Now here is the part that turns the counterfeit swamp into a graveyard. Take 1 heaping spoonful of mosquito bits and sprinkle it across the top of the water. That is all. Do not stir. Do not measure beyond a spoonful. What you have just put in there is something called BTI. The full name is Bacillus thuringiensis israelensis. It is a bacterium, not a chemical. A living thing that exists naturally in soil all over the world. It was first identified growing in a desert pond back in 1977, and what makes it special is that it kills exactly one kind of creature. When a mosquito larva, the little wiggling worm that hatches from the egg and lives in the water for about a week before it grows wings, when that larva eats a particle of BTI, it gets a hole in its gut. Within 24 hours, it is dead. It works on mosquito larvae, black fly larvae, and fungus gnat larvae. It does not work on anything else. Not on bees, not on butterflies, not on dragonflies, not on fish, not on frogs, not on songbirds, not on your dog if she sticks her face in the bucket. The reason it is so specific is that the gut of a mosquito larva is alkaline in a particular way, and the toxin in BTI only activates in that exact chemistry. A honeybee's gut is completely different. So is yours. Germany has been using BTI in their public mosquito control program since 1981. The state of Pennsylvania uses it. Maryland uses it. They drop it from airplanes over marshland. It is the safest mosquito control product on the planet, and it has been for over 40 years. So why is your lawn care company not using it? Because BTI is cheap. It is sold over the counter. And once you know about it, you do not need them. A $17 container will last one family the entire summer. A monthly mosquito spray contract runs between $60 and $90 per visit. You do the math on which one the company would rather sell you. 1 spoonful of mosquito bits floating on a half-full bucket of swampy water will kill every mosquito egg laid in that bucket for 2 to 4 weeks. After that, the BTI breaks down and you sprinkle in another spoonful. That is the entire maintenance schedule. For your whole property, you want at least 3 buckets, 1 on each side of your house, placed away from where you sit, where you eat, where the children play. I put 1 behind the woodshed on the north side, 1 behind the bee yard on the east, and 1 behind Esther's herb garden on the west, tucked behind the rosemary so she does not complain about it ruining the view. She has opinions about how the yard should look, and I have learned not to argue. For places, you cannot put a bucket, a ditch along the road, a low spot in the pasture, an old stock tank. They make the same BTI in a different form. Little brown rings the box calls mosquito dunks. Toss 1 in. Each one covers about 100 square feet of standing water and lasts about 30 days. I keep a box in the mudroom and drop 1 in the rain barrel by the back porch the first day of every month from May through September. And here is something most folks miss entirely. Your gutters. If they have any debris in them, leaves, pine needles, the buildup most houses get within a year of cleaning, they are holding water. Not much, just enough. Sprinkle a spoonful of mosquito bits straight into the gutter every few weeks during mosquito season, and you have shut down what is probably the single biggest mosquito breeding ground on your property. Most homeowners have no idea the gutters are doing this. The mosquitoes know. Now let me say a word about the part you cannot buy at a hardware store, which is walking your property. Once a week in summer, in the cool of the morning, take an empty coffee can and walk your whole yard. Every saucer under every potted plant. The wheelbarrow leaned against the barn. The dog dish nobody uses anymore. The folds in the tarp over the firewood. The kiddie pool the children left out. The bird bath. The clogged downspout. The old tire pile. And if you have one, get rid of it, because tires are the worst single mosquito factory ever made. Dump them all. Turn them over. Walk the line. The agricultural extension offices call this source reduction, and it is half the battle. You can put out 50 buckets of BTI and it will not help as much as dumping the 6 little catch pools hiding around your yard. 5 minutes a week. The mosquito starts in the water. And her there. As of 2023, There is growing support across the country for organic and bee-safe pest control methods. Several local governments have started putting restrictions on chemical pesticide spraying. Advocacy groups are pushing for laws that protect pollinators from the broad-spectrum chemicals that kill everything they touch. The best way to deal with mosquitoes is not to kill everything in the yard, but to create an environment where mosquitoes cannot breed in the first place. That is what we have always done on this farm. The buckets, the dunks, the weekly walk. 3 simple practices that cost less than $20 for an entire season and do not put a single bee at risk. This weekend, walk your property with that coffee can. Set up 3 dark buckets with grass clippings and a spoonful of BTI in each one. Treat your gutters. Dump every piece of standing water you find. The whole setup takes about an hour. After that, 5 minutes a week to walk the line and a fresh spoonful of BTI every 2 to 4 weeks. Your bees stay safe. Your pets stay safe. Your children stay safe. And the mosquitoes are gone before they ever grow wings. Esther and I sit on the porch most evenings in summer, watching the fireflies come out over the pasture. No buzzing, no slapping, no chemical fog drifting across the yard. Just a quiet evening on a farm where the bees are healthy, the garden is blooming, and the mosquitoes died in a bucket behind the woodshed before they ever knew what hit them.